Okay, so hi. These are not the first mandalas I ever did. I made a lot of them in the past. Very colorful at that. Maybe I'll show you, do a tour of them. The idea of being was on my mind lately. Just being as a human being, existing. I think I didn't even realize how much until I started to talk to you. I would get lost in the patterns I was drawing. Contemplate. Just be quietly. I like working in silence. Not complete silence, of course, but just with the ambient of the world outside. I don't have to think anymore. I get to not take responsibility for the creation I'm doing. And I think that annoys me, to be honest. It makes me resentful, actually. It's not very healthy to not take responsibility. It makes me feel icky. That feeling reminds me of times when I wasted my time and have done nothing with my life. So I thought I could turn that around, maybe. Change the meaning of these patterns and things I do in general. I want to do it for myself, as to maybe appreciate my own work. It has meaning as well for me as for somebody else. Just like my thoughts, I didn't really know where this piece was going in the beginning. All I knew that I wanted to have this triangular shape, like rays of light in the paintings of saints or God, or things that are supposed to be seen as very beautiful or important. I think it kind of represents divinity of some sorts, and that's what they are to me. I also knew that I wanted a big mandala in the center of the piece, above the rays, as an aureola in a way. It also is divine for me. All the rest, the details, they just happened. That is how life works. It kind of just happens. But at the same time, I think I really need a lot more responsibility in my life. A lot more involvement and structure. These mandalas, these patterns look like they have structures all around, in fact. But to me, they kind of don't. I think it is because I just don't appreciate my own work, to be honest. and I just try to disconnect myself from it. I deprive myself of experiencing and taking the full process of creation in, really. The lack of full involvement in my own life makes me so angry and irritated at myself. But at the same time, feeling things fully scares me. This piece, to me, is a story. It's a story of a battle inside of me. A battle that scares me, hurts me deeply, and just makes me plain uncomfortable in the most intimate points of my life. But at the same time, I don't want to let go. It is my comfort. It is what I know. Although I know what I have to do. I know that life with acceptance of how it works, of how I work, of the truth is better. But I still don't want to give up the control. Although I'm trying, and with time I'm letting go, little by little. Lately I've been listening to this great podcast on YouTube. I can't remember the title, but I will put a link in the description if you want to listen to it for yourself. But basically it speaks about change and how to actually change, how to create lasting modifications in your attitude, in your life, in your actions. And the best thing I have heard is that every time you do something that you don't really want to do necessarily, but you know it's good for you, that every time this is you saying yes to the new you, to your new identity. For example, let's say you want to start running regularly and you want to make it a long-term habit. So every time you get up, put on those shoes and go running, even for a little bit, you are saying yes to becoming that identity that actually likes to run and wants to do it, and to whom it comes naturally. Because it does. And that identity has been always inside of you. It just has been buried and laying dormant in a way. And every time you do it, every time you go running, you just allow it to exist, you allow it to manifest. You are no longer the person who started, the person who constantly complained about their physical shape and how hard it is to actually change it. You're no longer the person to whom running felt like torture and like a chore. You have allowed your identity of actually liking it to surface. And I know maybe to some of you it sounds very weird, but actually that's what allowed something in my mind to change. I suddenly allowed myself to actually implement change. That change is not something separate from me. It is me. It is part of my reality. It is part of me and my everyday life. It is not separate anymore in my mind. And it made me feel great relief. So that's what I have learned lately. Okay, so thank you for watching and see you later.